So last time I showed you the basic version of this automation, where we take a formatted comic script, feed it through an AI, and get generated panel images out the other end. Today we've added something significant, an attempt at character consistency through reference photos. I'm circling that little branch here. Reference images, whatever. But before we get into that, I'm going to explain a little bit some stuff I glossed over, particularly what Comfy UI is. So Comfy UI is a locally run image generation tool. So what that means is instead of sending prompts to a cloud service like Dolly or Midjourney and paying per image, Comfy UI runs entirely on your own computer. You don't have a cost per generation. You don't have content filters, which was the main reason I sort of swapped over to this. Whatever your story needs, it can generate. So it runs in the background. You access it through your browser, like a website, obviously. And it's all happening on your machine. So this automation, of course, we're back to N8N here. Essentially a visual programming environment, connecting nodes together like a flowchart, and each node does one specific job, and together they form this pipeline. So here's what's happening step by step if I execute the workflow. We'll zoom in. We covered this a little bit, but just for a little review, this get script jumps to anytime it's grabbing something. It's usually going from my Google Drive, which I have this comic project here, so it's going to get the script from this file right here, and I put a sample page. It kind of uses this file ID to grab things. And the script is formatted in a specific way. Each panel has the setting and action description and dialogue or sound effects, and we're not generating the dialogue and sound effects for now, but they're there to give the image generation. We have instructions for it to leave room for that. So that's why those are there. The script gets handed to this Anthropic, where it identifies every panel, what's happening, which characters are present, and even if they are not speaking at all, it just knows what characters are present. And then, so that's if there's no characters, and that's if there are. And then we're going to jump over here. And then I'll just zoom out a little bit, and then this is this loop where it loops through each panel at a time, looking for that information, translating the script description, like lighting, composition, style, reference, and so this new part that's up here, I'll explain it a little better. It checks if there are characters in it. Has character, then it goes into my little, we'll go back, it goes into this characters folder. And so what I did here is, let's see, who's this? I used David Duchovny as Fox Mulder, and this was a photograph that I just cartoonified through Leonardo, just because he's got a pretty recognizable face, and I'm really going for facial recognition here. And I also, for Elena in our script, that doesn't really look like Gillian Anderson to me, but the original photo did. That's supposed to be Gillian Anderson. I guess it's a latter-day Scully. Again, easily recognizable. So it downloads the reference images and it uploads it to Comfy UI. You can see we have this Ranger character. This was the first guy I was experimenting with in my new comic. He's a very early, side character. And I thought if we could get him looking good, then we could get the other ones. This wasn't really successful. I used the author Hubert Selby Jr. for him, again, because he's got a really unique face, and that's who I pictured when writing the character. But it runs through all these, and this is kind of similar to N8N. These are actually connected. It just doesn't show you the nodes or the lines of connection running from place to place here. Let's move around, and you move around a little differently here. So the IP adapter gives it instructions on, how heavily to use references from the image. And then once Comfy UI finishes generating the image, the automation retrieves it and saves it to our little output folder, which is over here. And so I'm going to show you. We're just going to jump through these. These were from the first video here. So this was the very first run where I was just having it read the script, no character reference or anything. I really like the art style that it came through with. But now here's the next one. So it kind of like reverted to a weird, more photorealistic painting style. It only showed him from the back. We're focusing on facial recognition here, so the backgrounds kind of went a little haywire. But in this next one, look, that pretty much looks like David Duchovny. There's a phantom staircase, a little bit of Scully right there. That one looks like him too, just a minor variation in the color of the suit and stuff. But that's got his face pretty well as well. It's still more painterly than I would like, whereas the last one was more of the comic style I'm looking for, particularly that. Yeah, there he is again. So it's did pretty well with his face, which I'm happy with. Character consistency is obviously still the hardest problem in AI image generation, so we're chipping away at it. This runs automatically, which is already nice. So the next step, I'm going to, instead of using this AI-generated script that we used right here, we'll go to Comic Project and Script. This was just that sample page that we're doing all the time, and this is only the script it was pulling from. I would be a little more specific in my settings. We're going to use a page from the actual project I'm working on to try and get it to be consistent about that. If we can get that going with characters and then setting, then we're off. All right. That's where it stops being an experiment and actually starts being a tool. Thanks.